Hi guys, and today I thought I'd just do another sort of real world use of the Sony RX10 Mark IV. So all of these shots are mine, as always. If I ever show any other body's work, I will state that. This is a shot with the RX10 Mark IV. It's actually 29 images stacked together to make it a wider, broader view, as I was stepped quite close to the tree itself. This is a couple of cows and baby cows and a mother, and you can see as it got really close, the noise obviously showed up slightly. This is an HDR image actually, so this is 6 images stacked on top of each other, unlike the other tree shot where there was sort of I guess a panorama kind of shot. This is zoomed in at 600mm, so the previous shot was 24mm. As you can see, everything's very sharp. Yes, you do get a little bit of noise when the light's crap, but generally I utilise the camera when the light's good. So, as most photographers do, there's not much point taking photos in rubbish light. So, zoomed in is 600mm f4. As you can see, nice and sharp, and the fall off in the background is quite nice. It's not too shallow, not too deep. Swan 600mm, and I think it was an f5.6 on this one actually. Just to give it a little bit more depth because he was quite shallow, but he was coming at me. But as you can see, nice and sharp. The sun was out just about, it wasn't overly bright. But we look at swans and think they're all white, but I look at the state of his neck. Yeah, so I mean, beautiful bird, and as you can see, nice and easy to get some decent focus and sharp images from the RX10. This shot here, okay, so this is what I'm shooting through. I'm shooting through a lot of scrubbing straight down down there basically. So it's very important with the RX10 Mark IV and any of the other Sonys to actually make sure you're using the right focusing setup for each job. I've seen so many people going, oh, it doesn't focus right, but put it in the right setting that you need for spot focus basically on that one, so the smallest point possible to miss straight through all of the bushes and the trees that are in front of me that I couldn't see, and it shot straight through. So it was really good. Obviously at 600mm. So this is one of the swan's feathers just floating on the water. I have obviously edited this to bring the light right down so it's just black, but works pretty well. So I was quite pleased with that. Just as a quick snap, I mean, it was just floating on the river. I managed to snap it. So yeah, it was pretty cool. This is a different day, so a place called Ashburnham Place, very pretty place. Nice bit of wildlife and everything there, and some nice reeds, and the water was relatively still. As you can see there, that was 600mm, f8 I think. But as you can see, everything's very crisp and sharp. Right, so this shot here, this is just a normal shot of the willow. I think they call them lamb tails or something. So the RX10 can do 1/32,000th of a second, and everyone thinks, what can you do with that? Well, the next shot, as you'll see in a second, so this is just a general shot, f4. Okay, so shooting straight into the sun, f4 at 1/32,000th of a second, at ISO 100 or ISO 64. As you can see, nice and sharp around the lamb's tail, or whatever you want to call it, to get an interesting silhouette. But most cameras can't even get anywhere near that. You'd have to be stepped down to f16 to even sort of be able to do that. The sun was quite soft coming through the trees, so it wasn't like a direct hit of bright sunshine, which obviously can damage the camera. So it's just a lot of light coming through, in a diffused way. So this is just a brick wall, but it looked quite cool in black and white. You can actually see all the bee, I think they're called masonry bees, and they just basically dig out all the mortar around the bricks. So you can see plenty of holes there where they've done that. I just thought it was quite an interesting shot. Just added just a nice dimension to the image. So this shot here, again, quite a high shutter speed, but this is at 24mm, very close. I think I was only about 3 inches away. As you can see, f2.4, so we've got some lovely bokeh in the background, and the sun just behind the plant there. So it just adds a little bit of interest and some interesting bokeh. all of these shots, I generally don't really edit them very much. Still a little bit of sharpening or a little bit of noise reduction, very slightly if need be. But you know, here's some ducks in flight. They basically come belting past at about 60 miles an hour. RX10 Mark IV locks on straight away, no problem at all. Just follow them. I've got about 30 shots of them flying. This was sort of the most sort of ideal shot. Really, it looked sort of about the right look. So as they sort of cruise past. Well, this shot here, I'm laying down on the ground and looking up the path, and these pheasants here are about 50 or so meters away. And that's the main building there at Ashburnham Place. So I'm just zooming in on here just to show you kind of, it's pretty good. As the camera is amazing for what you want in a camera, generally for everyday, easy to carry around. It just works. I really love using it, and things like this. I mean, this is a 600mm f4. I probably could have got it slightly sharper on the butterfly's eyes, but not a bad shot at all. Straight out of the camera, this is not being actually touched at all, and it works really, really well. So the fact you've got so much usability from this camera, that's why I love using it. It sits in the bag with my A7R3, and I use them both side by side. There's certain things I use the A7R3 for, obviously main big jobs, but the RX10 has come in handy for a few things as well. This is at 500 frames a second, just the last clip, slow motion video. So anyway, guys, I hope that's kind of just opened some more eyes and possibly help people make a decision. That's the kind of quality you can get, and I know for a fact that you can print A1 no problem at all, even in relatively rubbish light. That first tree shot would print probably A0 or A00 quite happily. So that's one of my favourite trees. It's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's always just got nothing around it. So it also looks different because there's different crops that grow in the field each year. So anything from blue flowers to yellow to could be corn or whatever. So but anyway, guys, so please subscribe and please share and like and put the little bell thing on so you get notifications. And I shall try and get some more videos out soon. Cheers, guys.